Hi, James. Good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Thank you. All right. So let's get started. I
Yeah,
see your resume. Thank you. I'm just looking to your profile.
okay.
So basically, you have 4+ years of experience, is it? So where are you
Mm.
currently working?
I'm currently working in TCS.
hmm As a data engineer, right?
It's similar to that as a big data developer.
Okay, sounds good. Can you brief about yourself, explaining your, current tech stack, the current roles and responsibilities? What are you doing in your latest project, and what role that you are actually playing? Like, let's say, like day to day, you are trying to develop, or you're trying to lead a team, like that, so that I can understand better. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, currently I'm working in an retail banking project where my role is maintaining ETL pipelines regarding to the um, fraud detection kind of things. Mostly my works are around the maintaining those ETL pipelines, which are based out of Hive and Spark SQLs. And also currently our project is moving towards cloud. I am also handling the production towards on-prem and also the migration from on-prem to cloud kind of things. We are also moved the data from on-prem to cloud. Then we are moving the jobs from there to here. My job will be like optimizing them, doing the cost optimization, also the other kind of optimization in cloud, and also maintaining the existing pipeline in production.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sounds good. So which type of cloud you are using? AWS, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So may I know, like, what are all the services you are actually using in AWS?
Actually, in AWS for migration, incremental sync, we are using data sync. Then for other pre-validation kind of things, we are using Lambda and Athena. For storing schemas kind of thing, we are using DynamoDB. Then we are using Glues for running other Spark jobs. Then we are storing the data like we are monthly and quarterly data. So monthly data we are storing back to S3. Quarterly data are a little prior that we are storing in Redshift. And we have same for post validation also we are using Athena and Redshift Spectrum for that.
Sounds good. So what kind of validations you basically do once you get the, derived or transformed output, maybe monthly or quarterly, whatever you say, right? So what kind
Yeah.
of validations you basically do? Can you
Like we
elaborate?
have some parameters like look forward date, looking back date, like that we are having some important dates based on that which we get the data from the source. So we are do to check that whether everything is perfect because it's going to downstream team. So we need to make the source dates formats are perfect, and if there are no duplicate values kind of things, we make everything distinct. If something is there, we drop the data kind of things we will do.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So you're also trying to develop using PySpark daily, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of transformations and actions you mostly use in your day-to-day, PySpark coding?
Mostly we have joins, we have multiple tables, like we have step by step tables. So most of the tables will using the joins kind of things mostly. Then apart from that, a filter will be there. Other things can filtering joins mostly we use. Actually. In action, we mostly take the count and other kind of things. Sometime pivot and group by kind of things we will use.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So let's get back to some technical, questions. So I'll give you a scenario in PySpark. Okay.
Okay.
So what you can do, you can share your screen.
Mm-hmm.
You can even start writing the code. The scenario is very simple. Assume that you are trying to read a CSV file in S3 bucket. Okay.
1 minute.
Yes, I can able to see. Thank you. All right. You can. Okay. Go ahead. You can just simply put this in the notepad itself. Yeah. So the scenario is very simple. You are trying to read a CSV file, assuming that CSV file is present in S3 bucket.
Okay.
We have like four different columns: ID,
Mm.
name, address, age.
Age. Okay.
Yeah. So you want to do some kind of filter logic. Your transformations are nothing but where you want to check if the address is having any nulls or not. Okay.
Okay.
If the address is having any null values, what you want to do, you want to add a new column stating called status.
Okay.
and that status should set it as no if the address is null. Okay.
Okay.
Vice versa, if the address is not null, you just want to set the status as yes. That's it.
Okay.
Right. And then finally, you want to have the transformed data frame to write it into Parquet files. You can even save it into S3 or whatever the mode of file system you try to do.
Okay.
Yeah, can go ahead. Start writing the Spark session, initiate it, and then write the logic.
Okay. Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay. So is line number 13 is correct? Do you think the syntax is correct?
Oh, it's I think.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Fine. No worries. Good. Thank you. Okay. So how do you deploy your Spark jobs basically? Are you using your glue every time?
Mm, deploy in sense deploying into like,
Running your Spark jobs. How do you basically run your Spark job? So Spark Summit.
yeah, basically from Glue, but we use like in on-prem we have a scheduler. Based on that, it will run here also. With that CLI command, we have in Autosys. From there, it initiate the old jobs.
Okay. So the Spark job from Autosys, it runs via EMR or how? Which
Yeah,
environment it
Glue.
runs?
It's runs based on Glue.
Okay. Triggering your glue job via Autosys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Fine. Okay. Okay. Let's assume that you have like plenty of output files in your folder. Let's say you have like 2000 files are there.
Okay.
But I don't want to have as many number of files, 2000 files in my output. Okay.
Mm.
I want to have only like my output needs to have only like around 5 files every
Okay.
time. When the
Mm.
job runs, my output needs to be only 5 files instead of 2000. Is there a way to do?
Yeah, we can try coalesce after everything. We can put a coalesce. Then based on that coalesce of five, will give only 5 files in the
Hmm.
output.
Okay. So why can't we use a repartition here? Only queries only should be used. Is it?
Repartition also we can use, but repartition will involve shuffling. So
Hmm.
where again we will spend some time and sources for that. Coalesce
Hmm.
will not having shuffling, so maybe we can go for coalesce.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So S3 you are only trying to store your output data, is it? So how where did the input data comes from? Is it from other sources directly ingesting to your Spark job, or you keep your data in S3 and then you transform?
We keep up data in S3. From there again we do the glue job. Again we storing the monthly jobs like we have plenty of data that we store again into S3.
Hmm.
The quarterly jobs are little prior. They are more for the production kind of thing. So we are storing that in Redshift.
Okay.
And the source is also from for AWS. It is once we are moved everything to S3 buckets, and
Hmm.
also we have synced with data sync that is also doing an incremental sync weekly wise
Hmm.
into S3. From S3, the glue jobs take the data from S3 only mostly.
Okay. So why can't we use an Athena here? So you are only trying to query the data via Redshift, right? So why can't we do it via Athena itself? Is there any specific need that you want to focus on Redshift?
Actually, the business need is like for Redshift for the quarterly jobs. Other data we are storing here only. We can use Athena for querying the data from S3, but actually from Redshift we have some quarterly jobs. For that only we are using Redshift. Actually, the need is like that. Business need is like that. So we are using both S3 and Redshift there.
But ultimately, Redshift takes the data from S3 only, right?
Yeah, we for quarterly jobs we have created some tables straight away in Redshift. We created some schemas there. So there we are using for quarterly jobs. We are storing their state.
Okay. Are you using Lambda for any other purpose in your project?
Actually, as I told, for the initiating the checks once migration is done, there we are using.
Okay. Kind of validations, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Fine. So have you done any kind of best practices in S3? I assume that you're trying to store a lot of data both input and output side. So is there any kind of best practices you did in S3 for storage purpose?
Yeah, we try to follow the classes correctly. Like for the 3 months, we used to have it in the standard, and like intelligent tiering is on.
Hmm.
Whenever we are not using the access thing data, some kind of data, so it will move to the infrequent
Hmm.
access kind of things. And also we have added the replications and multi-faction authorities of delete. like that we are using. After 3 months, once the data we move to the Glacier,
Mm,
like just Glacier for next 1 year. After 1 year, it moved to the Glacier archival kind of things.
mm,
Then also same for the replication also. If we are using replication, after 3 months, we try to pwn the replications. Pwning
okay.
of replications will happen. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. All right. So what is your file format? You're trying to you're manipulate your data, right, using Glue
Mm.
via PySpark. What kind of file format you're using?
Yeah, mostly Parquet. Schemas will be in JSON. Other things are mostly in Parquet.
Okay. Right. So how much volume of data you basically, process daily, your monthly
Mm.
jobs?
For monthly jobs, daily data is mean like daily we get some table storing that will be around some 10 to 20 GBs. Monthly jobs will run around some 100 to 150 GBs of data.
Okay. So how do you ensure your incremental data is perfect, accurate kind of data reconciliation? How do you ensure that it is correct? Any kind of uh, coding or any kind of best practices you do?
Actually, we tried with EMR basically. Then we moved to data sync, where data sync is helping in the incremental sync, having the search for the schemas too there. Actually, data sync agent will be installed in the source file like MySQL or some other sources also. It will be installed inside there. From there, it will detect these things and it will helpful there. Actually, data sync.
Okay. So what if the data is not something matching? Let's assume you're trying to store the incremental data, but
Mhm.
your incremental data which you're trying to store is not something matching with your source. There is some mismatch. So what do you do? How do you handle this situation?
Okay, if something is mismatching, we will check for the schema with the help of the crawler, which will having the from where we get the historic schemas also, past schemas also will be stored in buckets. From there, we can check if which is mismatching, which rows or columns is mismatching or some bad data kind of things. From there, we can try to correct. We can once if we find that the schema is, we can do a manual change on the schema within the JSON format inside the data schemas in crawler data catalog.
Okay. Have you done it? Have you
Mm,
handled this?
I haven't handled it, but I have an idea on how it goes.
All right. Okay. Fine, James. Can you take my next question? It's there
Hmm.
in the chat window.
Okay.
It's basically from Python. Yes. So let me explain this question. Okay, you can even take this as an input. 1 minute, James. Yeah, you can even copy this input and output from the chat. Right. So we have an input list with 4 different words: try, write, empty, sailor. So what you need to do, you want to basically write a Python code. So the output is simple. It seems to be in line number 21. You need to have a tuple. Inside
Okay.
it, you need to have 2 different lists. So the 2 different list is nothing but you need to check the length of those 4 words. The length of the word is lesser than 5, make it into one list. If the
Okay.
length of word is greater than 5, make it into separate another list. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a function, create a
Okay.
function, and then have the logic inside.
Okay. I think this will use Rajesh.
Okay, I'm reviewing it. So you are trying to make that list one, right? You have not used that list one. You have to
Mm,
define the list one. Okay.
Yeah, that front office, I think.
Okay. So can we do one thing? Can we just execute this in online Python compiler?
Yeah. Okay, greater or equal to 5 can give.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is it right?
I think.
Inside tuple. Okay. Right. So you can take next question from Python. So have it like I have not shared it. You can just type it out.
Okay.
List one equals to, put a list bracket, have the numbers like 1 comma 2 comma 2, 4 comma 5 comma 5, again 5, yeah, 2 5s, 7 comma 8 comma 9. Right. So what you want to do, there are two things that you want to expect it. One is you want to check if there is any duplicate value, duplicate number is present in this list. That is number one. And
Okay.
within the range of 1 to 9, is there any missing value is there here?
Okay.
Get two different things. I can go ahead. You
You can
can
do
even
it
write
separate,
in,
separate definitions. Or?
you can even put it in the same itself, function itself. You can make two different values, variables, and print those two different variables.
Okay.
You can even do it in Python compiler as well, if you wish.
Okay. You want to check the duplicate essence, just want to remove, or you need the duplicate kind of things, or how?
No, no. I want to know which one is duplicate. So you want to print which one is duplicate,
Okay.
right?
I think this will get the duplicates.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
try for missing
Yeah.
values.
Go ahead.
Rajesh, the missing value is like from the range 1 to 10 is fixed, or from this list
Right.
1 to
From
10
this
we can
1 to 10 you can keep. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
keep.
That's okay, James. Fine. We'll move on. No issues. Can tackle later.
Okay.
No problem. Right. You can take my next question. You can have it from SQL. Yeah. So the question is very simple. You want to simply write a SQL query to retrieve unique records without using distinct or group by condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Select
Can you try? Yeah.
everything from the table. Like count of particular column where we are checking this as on CT, and then we can filter like where it is one. This will give.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Mm, okay. So what this basically gives us the output?
Mm, which is only once in the particular column it will give that as output.
Okay.
And just we can do count star, then where count is one, that also.
Okay. All right. Right. So what is the difference between rank and dense rank, James? Can you explain me with an example?
Rank is like when two values having same. For example, 100 is there mark and another is 100 is there. In rank, it will give here also first rank, here also first rank. Then if another mark is like 99, it will go for third rank. In dense rank, it will go for second.
Okay. So let's say we have like duplicate value, but the key is different. Let's say the value 1 has two different values, 100 and 101. So in that case, dense rank or rank will work out.
I think
One
it
single
can.
key has two different values. Yeah.
Okay. 100. Same 101. Okay.
Right.
In this, what partition we are using that will matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's assume the partition ID is going to be ID. The one is going to be your partition key.
Okay. Then 101 will be 1. Then this will be 100.
Hmm. Okay. So you use rank or dense rank for that?
We can use rank itself.
Okay. Right. Cool. Fine, James. So how good are you at big data like concepts, internals, Hadoop, Yarn, HDFS?
I can rate myself 3 out of 5.
Good. So do you know what is a command to kill a Hadoop job? Let's say the job is keep running, and one sudden time you want to kill the job. So that to be done in CLI. You know what command you need to do?
We need to give kill job and the job number in Yarn.
Yeah, can you write it?
I'm not sure about and job ID will be there. I think something that
Mm-hmm.
we can do. I think this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Okay. So maximum how many name nodes you can keep in a cluster? Any idea?
Name node is like 1 or 2 max. It's a
Okay.
secondary name node and name node you can give.
Secondary name node. Among the two, you say one is secondary name node?
Yeah. One name node or two name nodes, and there will be another one secondary name node max.
Okay. Got it. Right. So what is the use of secondary name node in Hadoop? Do you know?
Secondary name node like mostly storing the metadata, like the logs and other things. Name node for metadata, logs and other things will be saving in secondary data node. Name node.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. So Python, you know the difference between list and dictionary?
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
List is any values between those things where it is mutable kind of thing. Whereas dictionary is mostly key value based. That's
Okay. So is dictionary allows duplicate values?
no, dictionaries don't allow duplicate values. Values it allow, but keys no duplicate keys.
Okay. So which means like you cannot have the same key and value repeated,
Yeah.
but same key can have multiple values.
Yeah.
One key can have multiple values. Let's say ID 1 with value 100 and ID 1 with 101. Is it possible?
No, actually, they
Okay.
can't be like that.
Okay. Same key cannot hold multiple values, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's say I want to handle this scenario. What will you do? I want to handle this scenario with the same key with different values. What should you do? Any idea?
Okay. Different values. No, actually, mm, not getting that.
Okay. Okay.
We can form a list with that if needed.
Mm,
For each key, we can have it inside that. We can have for a list
mm,
for that each one key.
mm. Okay. Got it. All right. Fine. So are you using any kind of deployment model? So, how do you push your code from lower environment to higher environment?
Yeah, we using Git Bitbucket for the check of versioning, and then we have RLM.
Mm,
From there, we create CR, then we get deployment.
okay. So who does it? Is it you or some other team will handle it?
I have, it's like a rotation. If anyone available, like mostly we have in weekends, like Saturdays, we have. If someone is there, we prepare everything. Then we will do that. It's like a rotation only. Even you have separate teams. For each
Mm,
team, so someone will do. I also did sometime, and others also will have like rotate only.
okay.
Whatever we
Right.
code we develop, that we push into repository. From repository, we create a CR that will be done by anyone. Then other movements will be taken by them mostly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Okay. So which version control system you're using for your development purpose?
Version control system in the sense what you're asking. I'm not getting.
Git, GitHub,
Yeah, GitHub only. Git and for version controlling mostly that Bitbucket,
Bitbucket. Okay.
where we have repositories that you are asking. That is the thing. We have a
Right.
repository over there. Then the
Right.
local branch. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Who reviews the code basically once you completes your code?
Review is like we have a testing team. We get the data, we send the data to them. Once they approve, then only we will move for the grid actually.
Mm, okay. How big is your production cluster? What's your cluster size? You have it in your production.
Production cluster is around, we have some 8 nodes.
Okay. Is
Mm,
it AWS on-prem or cloud?
no, in on-prem.
Okay.
Actually, cloud we are not yet into production actually. Like it was like an test phase kind of things that's going on.
Okay. Do you have any plans to migrate to cloud, or you still, want to brainstorm everything in on-prem itself?
Actually, it's like a business need. They said now kind of testing something like in they have moved the databases mostly to the cloud. Don't know about the functions, how it goes, whether they're choosing Glue or EMR or going for some other cloud. It's not aware because multi clouds are going actually.
Hmm. Okay. So who is your end consumer? Who is actually, taking your data and using it?
Actually, from my team, the downstream team is like a Pega is a team there. From
Mm,
there, it mostly I think for visualization kind of things they are taking. Mostly we are sending the fraud lesson. From there, it goes to the Pega team. They do some data modeling on that. Then it will goes like that.
So how do you send the data, or they access your Redshift tables? How this
Yeah,
is going
they
to happen?
access the Redshift, and also in on-prem same. We keep it in HDFS file in the standardized layer. From there, they used to take.
Okay, you basically given access to them, so they directly log in, access it, and they take the data. Is it?
Access is not in our side actually, but access are given to them also.
Oh, okay. All right. Have you done any best practices in your project in your PySpark coding?
Yeah, we try to implement the like for data skewness kind of things. We have tried to implement um, sometimes salting kind of things if something goes wrong in data skewness kind of thing when parallelism not happening. Then we also implemented a broadcast variable. We have increased the broadcast threshold size from default to 100 MB to do some fast implementation while doing the joins kind of thing. We are also trying to do the catchy kind of things whenever we are basically using the fraudulent table kind of things to trigger that table whenever we used to join with them. We try to use the catchy.
Okay. Do you see any good impact on implementing this? Good results?
Yeah, most of the time the running time will help. Mostly the broadcast chain will help in most of the scenarios. Basic joins, because most of the time we have some tables like default table like customer tables who are involved in that particular month alone. Based on that, doing those joins was helpful. We are seeing their time for the run time is very less compared to the old thing.
Okay. Fine. So how good are you at Airflow? Do you have any knowledge on that?
Yeah, actually I have an idea on Airflow, but didn't add an hands-on on Airflow actually.
Okay. No worries. So you are trying to use Autosys, right, for your scheduling purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. So who gives the access? You in your project you are handling any administrators do it, or you will be taking care of all the developers can able to access your IAM pages.
It's like we have given an IAM group, and for anything we want to not have access, we can approach the architecture team.
Okay. Who designs your architecture, like your project, your services, your data modeling, and who does it basically in your project team?
Actually, we can try something like we have an access to these things, kind of flow map we will get from the client. According to that, we work. If something we need, like we initially we used EMR for the data migration, but
Hmm.
once the need come for data sync, we tried for that. Then we get the access from them for data sync. We triggered the data sync agents in the MySQL and other things in databases kind of things. So for that and all, we need to rise. We need to talk with the other teams in the calls like during that time. Then we will get that.
Okay. So is you working in agile mode, sprint wise?
Yeah, sprint twice in agile mode.
How long is a sprint runs?
It's like a 4 week sprint.
4 weeks, is it? Okay. Okay. Good. Good to know. Do you know any knowledge on reporting side, like Power BI, W? Tools?
Actually, I worked in previous in with a little Tableau, but now not in touch with Tableau actually.
Hmm. Okay. Fine. So you have only knowledge on AWS, is it? No other knowledge you have on Azure or
Mm,
Databricks or other side.
no, Databricks. So I used to for trying practicing some PySpark's personal things. Other than
Mm.
that, I haven't used Databricks.
Mm. Okay. Fine. Let's say you have a SQL job. You have like only little joins. Okay, less number of joins. In other words, I would say you don't have any complicated code. You don't have any complex joins involved, and data is also very less. Okay, let's assume that there is only 5 GB involved. But the
Okay.
runtime of the query is taking more than 4 or 5 hours to execute. Okay.
Mm.
So in that case, what could be the issue? And if there is an issue involved, how you can solve it? Can you think and let me know?
It's based
You
on a
got my
SQL
question, right?
or yeah.
SQL.
Mhm. Maybe
What I was expecting is what could be the possible, issues it can be while running the jobs very long. You
can
could think of, yeah.
and there may be partitions like too many partitions, as you told before. The smaller files, maybe there are some 2000 kind of things within the 5 GB that
Hmm.
may would have caused the problem kind of things. If there are too many partitions or too many folders to read each thing,
Hmm.
then too many columns kind of things, which is not needed for the joins kind of things also will be there. that we can filter upon before predicate push down kind of things we can use in the beginning
Hmm.
for that. For if there are too many smaller files, we can use coalesce or kind of things. Before that, we can reduce the partitions.
No, don't think about Spark. Only
Okay.
it's, only from SQL. Don't think about Spark SQL. It's only from SQL.
And that's why not using proper partitions. Maybe then we can use partition by some logical which give something
Mm.
that we can try.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. So you currently lead a team, or you are doing a developer role in your project?
Actually, I'm doing a developer kind of role in my project actually.
Okay. So when the requirement comes, what you do basically? Well, let's say, when the customer says like, these are my requirements, you have, I know that you have to work on, but still, what could you think of? What you do basically once the requirements is on? You are assigned a user story, and what you immediately do once your user story is, up and there in the board.
Once the user story comes, let we check what is whether it is like an enhancement kind of things or a full development kind of things. First, we check. Then we discuss with the teams. If it is like enhancement, what the logic they are changing, we'll discuss with the data science team. If new thing comes in, we'll go with the data science. Mostly, data science team used to give those logics where to do, how to do, what they need actually.
Mm,
So we connect with them. We get an idea on how to do that. Then if
mm,
it is like an existing model, we will create like an wrapper and other kind of things in a Linux model.
mm,
Then the code we will try to build based on the logics and other things. Then we try
mm,
to test it in dev, lower environment, dev. We try to
mm,
test and we try to get the count. We try to run for the existing old runs kind of things. If it is an enhancement kind of thing, we run for old vintages. If it is a
mm,
new thing, we will try to run. At the same time, we do the testing from there. Once
mm.
we get this, we give to the testing team. From there, we will go like that.
Sounds good. Okay. So how do you write your unit testing for your code, actual code? Do you write it?
Yeah, we just mostly there it will be like from which source we are taking, how many data we are taking, kind of things. Like a Excel, we'll write. In the unit testing, same. What Randall doing, as you know, you'll write that. Yeah.
For Python? For Python, you write any unit testing? Do you take any framework? There are like a
Mm,
lot of frameworks are there, right? For Python.
yeah, but actually Python we haven't used that much currently.
Okay. So for Python, if I understand, you are only trying to write using the Lambda functions, is it? Other than that, you use any Python anywhere?
Like simple things for changing inside Linux, run some job which comes in some other format like Excel to CSV, CSV to test kind of things. We have some Python jobs. That's it. More
Okay.
not involved much in Python actually.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. All right. So your tech stack is basically from PySpark, SQL, Python, Autosys, AWS. Is it?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. So you have a Berkeley, kind of monthly scheduling as well as quarterly, is it?
Yeah. Jobs like we have weekly jobs also. Some injection jobs will happening. Other than that, monthly and quarterly jobs.
Okay. You have any knowledge on Kafka?
Yeah, I have a basic idea how Kafka works.
Okay.
Kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. But you haven't got any real-time experience, is it?
No, I haven't worked on streaming kind of things. I haven't worked actually.
All right. No worries. Cool.
Okay.
Fine. Fine, James. I'm done with the interview.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can wind off and I'll just, pass on the information. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, James. We'll call you back. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.